Hello all, and welcome in. We're so glad you've joined us for another edition of the Book Nerd Diaries. Life can be rough sometimes, so please pull up a chair here in the library and relax for a while as we dive deep into the latest books we've crossed off our endless to-read list. Please be warned that spoilers lie ahead, and some content might not be suitable for all listeners, so please go check out the show notes for content warnings regarding today's book and discussion before moving ahead with the episode. Ready? Then let's get our book nerd on. It's a tragic fact of life that people are often afraid of what they don't understand. It's a reflex that humans have employed for centuries to protect themselves from potential dangers. While this can serve as a good survival instinct at times, it can also be a barrier that keeps us from truly understanding the world around us. For instance, many traditional predator animals, such as wolves and sharks, have been portrayed in the media as the stuff of nightmares. So afraid are people of Jaws or the big bad wolf that many fear to venture into the ocean or the forest on their own. In the case of gray wolves in particular, they were ruthlessly hunted to the point where they were on the endangered list for decades, all because of fear. Some might keep a light on when they sleep because they are afraid of what might be hiding in the dark. Some might be afraid to try a new food because they might not like it or had a bad experience with it in the past. Some might be afraid to talk to someone for the first time because they may potentially embarrass themselves. Anxiety is a natural, deeply embedded part of the human condition, and there's absolutely no shame in it. Heaven knows I've been there a time or two myself. Once in a while, however, that anxiety can also be used as a fuel to help you discover something wonderful. The fabulous book that we'll be talking about today, Earthstone, by P.M Biswas, is about two people from very different worlds who ultimately forge a friendship for the ages. They go from a place of mistrust and fear to one where they are willing to put down their lives for each other in the purest form of found family. Theirs is the kind of bond I could only aspire to, and it all came about because they were willing to set aside their fear. When our book opens, we meet our heroine, Tamsin, better known as Tam to her friends. She has snuck into the army barracks and is in the process of trying to steal one of the soldiers' uniforms from the laundry. She thought that she had been careful, but just when she thinks she was getting away with it, she is caught by her mentor, Gore. After the death of Tam's parents years before, who had both been deeply respected soldiers themselves, Gore had served as a de facto father figure for his young protege. He knows that Tam wishes to follow in her parents' footsteps and show her valor in battle, but he cares for her too much and does not wish for her to put her life in danger needlessly before she's ready. Frustrated, Tam leaves and sets herself to practicing on the training grounds with a spear, as she does every single day. A week later, Tam is called to an audience with Queen Emerald. Tam's late parents had been among the Queen's top warriors and confidants, and so the Queen has made it a point to look after her and keep her safe in their stead. Gore had told her about Tam's attempted escape because she too advises Tam not to risk her safety before she had received her full training. Tam accepts the Queen's advice, then excuses herself to go visit her closest friend, and the Queen's son, Prince K. She ultimately finds the prince in the palace's vast library, which is his favorite place in the world. After making sure Kay is taking care of himself while engrossed in his studies, she asks for his help in enacting a new escape plan. The prince, she proposes, will set up a hunt for which she will accompany him. While everyone is distracted, she herself will slip away and join the soldiers that she knows have recently been sent out on a scouting party. Kay is initially wary of this idea, as he does not want his friend to be hurt or for himself to get into trouble. but Tam ultimately convinces him to agree. The plan goes off without a hitch, and Tam finally sets off to join her fellow soldiers. She sees this as her ultimate chance to prove herself and be accepted in full as one of their rank. She had wanted to be worthy of her parents' legacy her whole life. Now is the moment she had eagerly been waiting for. At first, she is thrilled to see Borg among the party, and so many other soldiers she counted as family. She initially keeps her distance and watches them for a moment, excited at the chance to join them. Tam's happiness is to be short-lived, however, as the scouting party is suddenly ambushed. Tam instantly rushes out and joins the fray to help them. She gives everything she can, but the carnage of the battle is something out of her worst nightmares. She is soon wounded in the melee, and Borg sends her off to safety on his horse. Tam rides away, fighting back tears at her own foolishness. She clings to consciousness for as long as she can, blood pouring from her wounds, before finally passing out. An untold amount of time later, Tam slowly wakes again to find herself in the lush forest of the Wanderwood. The Wanderwood, for as long as Tam had known, had been a deeply forbidden place. It is cursed, the adults warn, and full of dangerous elves, who will not hesitate to kill a mortal. Most in her kingdom do whatever they can to avoid the place, yet here she is, completely unharmed. What's even more shocking is that she is being tended to by one of the elves she'd been warned away from. He introduces himself as Lauren, and explains that he had healed her by transfusing her with his own blood, after having found her half dead. Having been told her whole life that elves are the enemy, Tam is not too quick to accept help from one, even if he'd saved her life. A tense conversation follows between the two, neither wanting to trust the other, before Tam sets off again for the palace. When she makes it back, she is immediately greeted by a deeply relieved Prince Kay. After hearing about the ambush, he would never have forgiven himself if he had been responsible for her death. Once Tam reassures Kay that she is all right, she pays a visit to the infirmary to check on her fellow survivors. At the infirmary, she finds Queen Emerald herself, who is helping tend to the soldiers. The Queen is happy to find that Tam is all right, and invites her to attend a council meeting following a funeral service to be held for the fallen soldiers, to which Tam instantly agrees. At the council meeting that night, the Queen asks Tam to share her story with the assembly, to which she obliges. After hearing about Tam's rescue by one of the Wanderwood elves, Queen Emerald proposes that this might be the perfect opportunity to mend the rift between their peoples. She wishes to send a delegation to the Wanderwood to negotiate a peace treaty and to end their feud for good. As Tam is the first human in years to have had contact with one of the elves, who better than she to join the delegation as the Queen's herald? At first, Tam is blown away by the Queen's proposal. She had barely talked to the elf, and even then, it was not exactly on friendly terms. She is a fighter, not a diplomat, and so should she be trusted with such an important task? After some hesitation and convincing, she finally accepts, and the next day, the delegation sets off, in hopes of building a better future. We've reached the portion of our show where we must take a very quick break. But don't worry, dear book nerds, we'll be right back after these very quick words. Don't go anywhere.
Are you an author, fellow podcaster, or small business owner looking to spread the word about your product or service? Then let us help you. We offer a number of affordable monthly advertising packages in various price ranges. So if you'd like to hear your ad here in future episodes, please head on over to our page at ko-fi.com/bndpod and click on the Shop tab to see what works best for you. Again, that's ko-fi.com/bndpod. then click on the Shop tab. We can't wait to work with you.
Earthstone by P.M Biswas is one of those books that I stumbled upon by complete accident. I was looking for available fantasy titles on my Overdrive app, as I do, and was intrigued to find this title among them. I promptly borrowed it out of curiosity, and was delighted to find myself on a truly fun ride. It is a shorter book with only about 5 chapters in total, but every single page is utilized to perfection. I instantly adored the plucky Tam from the moment she was introduced in the story, and it took absolutely no time for me to care deeply about her journey. She's got razor-sharp wit and deadly skills with a spear, but beyond that is a great heart that loves very deeply, which is probably the absolute best recipe for creating a character I adore. As a child of 2 respected warriors, Tam sees the army, Queen Emerald, and Prince K as her de facto family. She wishes to become as strong as they are, and earn her place among them, which means that she's infinitely frustrated when she feels that she falls short of her expectations for herself. She often feels like she needs to be worthy of those she loves, yet she doesn't see that she already is. It's through her budding friendship with Lauren, I think, that she truly learns to accept her worth. She doesn't see why an elf would want anything to do with her, as so much animosity has existed between their people for so long. He had saved her, he explains, because she needed his help, and he thought her life was worth saving. Their banter is at first a little bristly, yet as time goes on, it develops into something much easier and more playful. They do not need to pretend around each other, or carry around the weight of expectations like they do around everyone else. As a result, they can simply exist and enjoy each other's company, though they may not openly admit how much they appreciate each other's friendship. Now, don't get me wrong, this book is an epic adventure full of magic and thrills, but it's Tam and Lauren's bond, and the through line of chosen family, that truly makes this book a page-turner. I love how deeply Tam cares for the people around her, and how far she's willing to go to protect them. I love how everyone adores her just as much and cares for her well-being, yet never treats her as anything less than an equal. Such mutual love and warmth are purely heartwarming, charming, and an absolute delight to read, from beginning to end. I know that in today's busy world, it might be hard to find the time to sit and read, and I am certainly no exception. I might not always be able to get through a longer book, which can be frustrating to say the least. For those of you who wish to get back into reading, and would like something that you can enjoy as you soak up the last bright rays of summer sun, then the engaging little wonder that is Earthstone just might be the perfect solution for you. I will reiterate here that some elements of this book, as always, might not be for everyone, so please check out the content warnings in our show notes before picking it up for yourself. It is here, dearest book nerds, that we reach the end of our discussion for today. It is always our deepest joy when you stop in for a visit here at the library, and we truly do hope that you've enjoyed your time here as much as we have. Before we say our goodbyes for now, we would like to give out some very special thank yous. Firstly, thank you beyond words to Julie, our amazing sister Katie, and Anthony, for being our wonderful superstar subscribers over at patreon.com/bndpod. Your kind monthly contributions are what help us keep doing what we do, and we will never forget that. If you too would like to get perks like early ad-free episodes, 2 exclusive episodes a month, notes, scripts, our monthly newsletter, and a special role in our Discord server, we hope you'll join them. Our deepest gratitude also goes out to anyone who has shared our episodes on social media, left us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or their app of choice, or told the book lovers in their lives about us. These are the best absolutely free ways to support the show and help bring more people into the library. Small independently run operations like ours depend on word of mouth to grow, so every bit truly helps more than you could ever know. Next week, Friday, September 9th, a new bonus episode is on the way for our wonderful $5 and up subscribers on Patreon, and we'll see you right back here in 2 weeks for another edition of the Book Nerd Diaries. See you then. The Book Nerd Diaries is written, edited, researched, and hosted by me, Amber Wiltgen. Thank you so much to the wonderful astrofreq from Pixabay for the use of our theme song, The Grand Entrance. All other music and sound effects you heard during this episode are also provided by the wonderful people of Pixabay, so please check out the show notes for full credits. If you'd like to connect with us online, please follow us on Instagram or Twitter at BNDpod, on Facebook at Book Nerd Diaries, or via our website at bndpod.wordpress.com. If you have any comments, questions, or ideas for future episodes to send my way, please feel free to drop us an email anytime at bndpod@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, everyone, please be good to yourselves, because the world needs you. And don't forget to support your local library.